Well, good morning, folks. We're here today. We're going to make some homemade cinnamon rolls. And I think I'll also make a cream cheese frosting for the top when I get all done here. Now, these are fairly easy to make. They do take a little bit of time to rise, and there might be some pauses in between some stuff, but let's get started. First, I'm going to take a large bowl and I'm going to dump in my dry ingredients, but the flour first, but not all of it, because I may need it later. Now, everything I do is a double batch, as you always know, so make sure you cut this in half if you're going to make it for yourself. And in this batch, I've got, about 9 cups of flour, actually, so remember, cut that in half. I'm not going to dump this all in. Like I said, I'm going to save that because I'm going to need it. And of course, what we're doing is adding all the dry ingredients first. Now, I have about 4 packets of yeast in here, so you want to cut it down to 2 for a normal batch. I make the bigger batches because I freeze them, then I don't have to make them again for a while. And we'll add the sugar. And how much sugar did I put in here? Oh geez, it's 2/3 of a cup. Sprinkle that all in there. And the next I have is about 3 tablespoons of salt. Spread that in there. Okay, so we'll get these out of the way. Another thing I like to add, which you don't need to, but I just kind of like the flavor of it, I add a pinch of nutmeg. I don't know, I like nutmeg. So I'm putting that in there. So we'll put that over here. Now I want to grab one of my whisk. If I can get it off in here. There. I'm going to mix this all together. Stir, stir, stir. Stir it up in good shape. Make sure they're all mixed in there really good. Take a little bit more of this flour. Okay. All right. Now we got that all mixed in there. We'll set this over here for a minute. Back to it. Now I have another bowl for my wet ingredients. Now I got about 3 cups of warm water here. I'm going to put it in here. And I'm saving a little bit on the bottom for later. Then I'm going to dump in 2 large eggs. Remember, I'm doubling everything. There you go. 2 large eggs. Now another thing that I kind of like is I put vanilla, about a couple of teaspoons of vanilla. And I also added a teaspoon of maple because I like that maple flavor. Makes it good. I'll dump that in there. Put this aside. And I'll grab my whisk and just mix those in together. Alright, looks like I got those all mixed in. Put that down there. And now I got about half a cup of butter. And I cut them into these small sections, room temperature. I'm just going to dump them in there. what I'm going to do with this next is I'm going to throw this in the microwave for 30 to 45 seconds. I'll be right back. Don't go away. Okay, it looks good. I'm just going to whisk that butter around. Stick my finger in there just to make sure it ain't too hot, because I don't want to kill my yeast. You know, you get it too hot and you want it, oh, I don't know, about 105 to 110. Easy to touch, but if you feel it's still cold, do it for a little bit more. Now that butter's mixing right in there pretty good. Of course, you all can guess where it's going to go next. It's going to go into my dry ingredients. All right. Put that there. Push that back. And we'll pull out the other bowl. I'm going to work this flour into, and butter, wet mixture into this flour. Got a pretty heavy duty one here. And the best thing to do is you want to get that right consistency. If you bake for a while, you get to know what that consistency is that you're working with. There. We'll add some more. And some more. I do it in stages. That way I can control it. Now remember, we saved some flour and we did save some water, and there's a reason for that. Mix this up. You're getting there. Make sure you get all that stuff off the sides. Oh, it feels nice and warm there. Now we're going to add some more water. I'll set that in there, and I'm going to start working this with my hands. Squish it through there. Nice and wet and sticky. It's the way you like it. Wet and sticky. Oh yeah. Love my dough. Okay. Now you can see how sticky this is. Of course, you can't work with that. Well, maybe you could, I can't. So that's where our flour comes in to get it to the right where we need it to be. So, like I say, start with a little. You don't want to overdo it. You want to get it right. Keep working that, working it. Still pretty sticky there. Now, if you make a mess, don't matter. It's your kitchen, right? I see some of these fancy shows, they worry about everything, you know. But if you really know how to bake, you're gonna have a mess. Oh, he's getting really sticky there. Sticky, sticky. All right, more flour. After a while, we get all of those flours in there, where it's going to be a really easy dough to work with. Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about. Squish it in there. And it still feels warm, you know, that's what you want. Picking up the rest of that flour on the sides and making sure you incorporate it all. Feels a little bit like a bread dough, you know. You make bread, you know, how scratchy it is there. That's what we want to be able to roll her out when we get around to it. Now we're going to have to let this rise, you know, like any other dough. I'll cover it, you know, and I'll put it into my little warmer there for at least an hour. Then, you know, we'll come back and make up the second part of this, which will include how to make the frosting for the top and how to cut and roll these out so they look really pretty. Now you notice we still have a little bit of flour, but I saved that for my table, because if we all know how it sticks here, we'll want that. Now we got a nice smooth top there. Like I say, I'm going to cover this up and put it in the warmer, and be sure to join me for the second half. Talk to you in a little bit. Well, welcome back to part 2 of this making homemade cinnamon rolls. I divided my dough into 4 parts, and now I'm going to sprinkle a little flour down here to roll this out. Rolling pin here. Let's see how she rolls. Coming. Now the trick is to try to get this dough about 15 inches long. I'm going to roll it into a log. Gotta move these back a little bit, they're kind of in the way. top part's done. Next part is I'm going to take some butter. I'm going to butter this up. You can use oil if you wanted to. I just like butter. I'm going to paste this up really good. There we go. Now, the next step I want to do is add some cinnamon. I'm going to sprinkle that in there. This is the light cinnamon. Frog in my throat. There. I'm just going to kind of work that in there. Put it all over the place. Now you can add a lot of different things in this, things that you like. Some people put walnuts in them. I've seen people put in those chocolate chips or the butterscotch chips or almond chips. Use your imagination. Now, time to roll. Roll our log. Make it fairly tight. Just keep rolling, 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 rawhide. Remember that show? Gee, that was years ago. I used to watch that all the time. It's one of my folks' favorite shows. That, Rin Tin Tin, Sky King, all them really good stuff's all gone now. Wish they'd bring them back. Yeah. So when I get done there, this is probably about 1 foot long or so. Doesn't have to be perfect. It can be any way you want it to be. I'm just kind of tucking the ends in. Now I see people use fancy ways of cutting this and everything else. Some people use dental floss and I don't know. Use whatever you want. But I'm going to use this. I'm going to make them at least 1 inch wide. See that? Roll right up there. Another one. So out of that one, we made 10 of them there. And so the next thing I'm going to do is grab myself a fork. I'm going to flatten these down. Yeah. Flatten them down. These won't be the giant ones, but they'll be big enough for snacking on. If you want them bigger, make them bigger. That's all there is to it. Put that down. And to do this, we're going to preheat our oven. And we're going to cook these at 350 degrees. 30 to 35 minutes. Now, another thing is once I get them down there, I will baste the top again with butter. And I'll grab a pan to put them on. think I'm gonna put a piece of that parchment paper in there. Makes less of a mess to clean up if it gets all over the place. Measure my bowl. Too long, tuck it in. Front. I leave about an inch in between them. There. So I have all those in there and I'm going to bake them. But the other thing I wanted to show you is before I finish making these, is that in my frosting mix, I'm using a couple of sticks of butter. I'm using a full 8 ounce of cream cheese. I'm using powdered sugar and a teaspoon of vanilla. Now I'll be making that up off screen here, but I'll be back when I put it on the top of these things. So I'll be back again. Talk to you later. Alright, there they are with that cream cheese and butter frosting on the top. In the last batch I will get in the oven, I'll just leave plain. But for sugar lovers, I put that on there. Those are going to be tasty. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. As you can see, I made a big mess over here. Talk to y'all later.